Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, and we are going through the 15 laws of invaluable growth. We're now on law number 5. Let's do a quick recap. We had law number 1 was the law of intentionality. Be intentional in what it is that you want. Know where you want to go. Law number 2 is the law of, what is it? Law of awareness. The law of awareness, be aware. You want to be aware of your surroundings and also be aware of those that can be your mentor. Law number 3 is the law of the mirror. Law of the mirror. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Hopefully you see awesome. Hopefully you see great. Law number 4 is the law of reflection. We want to reflect on the great things that are happening in our life, capture the moments. And now we're on to law number 5, the law of consistency. And we have our wonderful co-host here, Mr. Pat. How are you, sir?
Phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. So Pat is on the road, and he is still saying, "Hey, I'm going to be here." So where are you now, Pat? I know you from where you are now. Where are you at now?
I'm in Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. So you got another engagement today?
I do have one today, and then Friday I'm in Enon, and then Monday I'm back.
Okay, fantastic. Are you staying there for the weekend, or are you coming back home and then going back out to Ardmore?
No, I'm leaving after this thing tonight, this afternoon. I'll be back in Tulsa tonight. I'll be in Tulsa all day tomorrow, and then Friday I'll leave.
Okay, fantastic, man. So there are some things that are happening in the network, guys. I know there's some things that are happening for you. So, hey, here's the deal. We dare you to grow. That's what this show is about. We dare you to grow. And so just continue to show up, continue to show out, and you're going to see things happen in your life, man. You're connected to some people that are all about growing. So you got to grow intentionally. So yesterday, what we talked about really motivation. And we talked about, as we're looking at the law of consistency, we had to ask like 5 questions as it relates to the law of consistency. The first question was, do you know what you need to improve? So these questions are going to be what, how, why, and when. So the first question was, do you know what you need to improve? So we talked about that a little bit. And then we moved into, do you know how you are supposed to improve? Do you know how you're supposed to improve? So we started out the first part of this, which was like, hey, what's your personality type? And what is it that motivates you? What is it? You want to match your motivation to your personality type. And we want to continue to pick up where we left off today as we talk about, do you know how you are supposed to improve? Do you know how you're supposed to improve? So the next concept was start with the simple stuff. Start with the simple stuff. And we say this all the time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so there are times where we have these lofty goals, these lofty things that we want to do, but because they seem so big and so large, we never get started because we're looking at the total big picture. Well, you want to break that thing down into small steps so that you can start with the small stuff, have a small victory, and you can build momentum along the way. So this is all about building momentum so that you can be consistent and disciplined to keep you through until you reach your particular goal or till you become the person that you want to become. Start with the simple stuff. Pat.
Well, and the other thing you have to remember is the simpler you make something, the further you can take it. And the reality is a lot of times we overcomplicate our own situations and we really don't need to. Or we want to know how everything's going to work before we actually start anything. And it's never going to work that way. No battle plan survives the battlefield. It just doesn't work that way. Take the first step, get started, and yeah, you need a plan, but you also need to be flexible because life will change your plan.
Life will have a way of changing your plan, guys. So let me ask you this question for everybody that's here. What's the last thing you did that you thought was so huge and so big, but you finally have decided to take the first step? You finally have decided to take the first step, and you've taken that first step, and now you're like, I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. I'm on my way. What is that thing for you, that big lofty goal? What is that thing for you, that thing that seems so overwhelming at first, but then you finally have decided to take the first step, and you're taking that first step? I know for some of us, it might be getting out of debt. It might seem like it's so huge. It's so big and so large, but we began to take the first step. What's that thing for you, and have you decided to take the first step? Here's the deal. It says small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. So think about this, guys. You guys are showing up every day, 30 minutes to this show. It's a small step. And you're beginning to develop a discipline. And it's becoming a habit. And now you're here. Now you can apply the same principle to every other area of your life. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievement gained slowly over time. And this is why I say that consistent action breeds success. Whatever it is that you want to be successful at in your life, it's going to take some consistent action. Pat.
And as you put stuff in, as you put the theory of success in, and you put in the good and the positive, then it has no choice. Eventually, you're going to be filled with that, and then it'll start coming out of you. And as it comes out of you, you'll attract others in your sphere, in your realm of influence, and they will start engaging with you. And then as you start engaging with more and more successful people, you become more and more successful. So it all starts with putting it in, and that's what we're doing every morning. We're getting together, and we're putting it in. So when it's called upon, we have it.
Absolutely. Now we got a special guest with us here today, man. Miss Charlene Burt. You don't think I've been following you? Yes, I have. I've been following you. She does a book club show. I think she's on the Think and Grow Rich. I'd love for her to be able to join us and keep up and join us in the conversation if she would grace us with her presence. If she feels like she might have a show coming up. I'm not quite sure. But if you're up to it, you're not camera ready. Come on, Miss Charlene. Go ahead and get it together. We got 25 more minutes. Hey, the Action Man is here as well. Thank you so much for joining. Action Man, feel free to jump into the seats. The sheets are open. We're talking about the law of consistency. I know that you got some things to say about this, Mr. Action Man, so feel free to jump into a seat. And the seats are open. Again, this is not a me show, it's a we show, so feel free to hop in if you got something that you would like to add to the show today. And so we just talked about starting with the simple stuff. And the next concept is to be patient. Be patient. So in this concept, what we're talking about is to enjoy the process, right? Sometimes we start thinking about where we want to go, and we might not be there yet. And we're like, hey, man, what's taking so long? But enjoy the process, this process of change, this process of growth, this process of development. I mean, really, if you be patient, you'll start to see and be able to capture those moments that are success. Success leaves clues, right? But if you're not noticing the clues, then you might feel like you're not being a success. But when you're patient in those moments and you're able to really enjoy the process along the way, man, because that's really what it's about. Because once you reach your goal, it's like, okay, I got to set another goal. But it's who you become along the way that really makes the difference in your life. Pat.
And what we learned last week is when, those times are happening in your life and maybe you're a little frustrated, you need to refocus that energy. That is a form of energy. And if you make that from frustration into fascination, which is a small twist, but you just refocus that energy into fascination. Isn't it how fascinating I did that, but now I can do it better? Isn't it fascinating that they don't get it, but they're starting to understand? Just twist that from frustration into fascination, and your whole day goes better.
Absolutely, man. That's the theme that we just cannot let it go. Don't be frustrated, be fascinated. And I'm telling you guys, as you walk in the realm of fascination, be fascinated all day long. Be fascinated by the great things. Be fascinated by the things that don't seem so great. It may seem like they're not getting it, but guess what? Here's what I've learned, man. Here's what I learned. And especially if you're trying to build your own business, you're trying to build your brand, you're trying to market. Hey, all you got to do is just do what the great marketers do. Do what McDonald's do. Show up each and every day. Each and every day you're going to see a commercial from McDonald's. Each and every day you're going to see those golden arches. And I'm telling you, if you show up each and every day, eventually they're going to notice you. Eventually they're going to be calling you. Eventually you're going to be the person for that service that they remember. I just got a tweet yesterday on my Instagram. Guy was like, hey, I'm trying to get out of debt. Can I help you? I was like, hey, sure. We got a class coming up. Sign up for it. Boom. We got to sell. Now, how did that happen? Because he's been seeing me consistent each and every day, putting the message out about money, putting the message about getting out of debt. So guess what? When he finally decided, hey, I want to get out of debt, who do you think about first? Your certified financial educator. Be consistent. And what we said yesterday is you want to be so consistent that the world notices you. You want to be so consistent that the world notices you. Hey, oh, thanks so much, man. I don't know who you are, so I'm not going to let you in, brother. You're going to have to leave a few comments. We don't do all the troll stuff here. So you got to be consistent until the world notices you. That's our goal. Our goal is to get the world to notice us in whatever capacity. Now, hopefully you're getting noticed for some good stuff, right? You're getting noticed for the products and services that you bring. You're getting noticed for the wonderful volunteer that you are. You're getting noticed for the great things that you're bringing here to the earth. But if you be consistent, eventually the world will start to take notice. And here was a quote for being patient. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. Now think about the last thing that you thought was just like totally difficult. You thought, man, I would never be able to do this. You're thinking in your head, man, I don't know what to do. And then eventually you did it and it now became easy. For example, for me, when I started on my own, I started doing my entrepreneurship and I do videos and stuff. Man, videos and editing, I was like, how do they do all this stuff? I didn't know it at first. I thought it was difficult, and it was because I had never tried it. But then once I tried it, I started getting better at it. I still don't do world-class videos yet, but I do just enough to make it, to put it out. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, and the other thing I special shout out to Charlene. One of the comments she put in is, suit up, show up, and smile. So yeah, you have to be there, and you also have to get your attitude straight. You also have to start with a smile, and that's part of what today is you start every day, get positive stuff put in you, and show up with a smile. And you have to remember, anything worth doing is worth doing wrong until you learn to do it right.
You learn to do it right. Everything is worth doing wrong until you can get it right, man. Keep on it's not even failing. Keep on learning until you perfect the process. Keep on learning.
Fail forward.
Right.
Fail forward.
I think Les Brown say if you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
That's right.
Now the fourth concept here was to value the process. Value the process. And it said here that life goals are reached by setting annual goals. Annual goals are reached by reaching daily goals. Daily goals are reached by doing things which may be uncomfortable at first, but eventually become habits. Habits are powerful things. Habits turn actions into attitudes, and attitudes into lifestyles. Habits turn actions into attitudes, and attitudes into lifestyle. Now, here's the deal. Here's the thing about a habit. If you have some bad habits, that we all do, we got some bad habits around us, you can't just kill the habit. You have to replace it. So in order for you to turn your habit, your bad habit, into something good, you got to start with this first step into developing this new good habit so that you can replace the old habit. You just can't stop, right? And sometimes, like I tell people, like who might smoke or something, maybe it's a habit to them. Like you have a mouth thing going on, so instead of smoking, maybe chew some gum. Like you got to do a different habit that's going to take you away from the other habit. Now, the best way to put this is you can't always run away from something. You can't always run away. When you're running away, like maybe you want to quit your job, maybe there's something that you want to stop, you have to know where you are running to. It's better to be running towards something than it is to be running away. Why? Because if you're running away from something, you're going to always be running away from something. That's a bad habit. You want to be running towards something. So what is it that you love? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to develop and start running towards it? Pat.
And with the analogy of the running, it really is important that you think about the focus, because what happens is when you're running away from something, you keep looking over your shoulder and you're looking backwards because you're running away from them. So you're always looking back. When you're running towards something, you're looking forward. And as you're looking forward, you're not wasting your energy going backwards. All your energy now is focused forward. And as you focus anything, it happens quicker.
As you're facing forward, it happens quicker. So let me do a quick shout out here, man, because we're at this point here. So we want to thank Miss Raquel, 6 o'clock, time to Raquel to rock. She's in the building. Miss Nicole, Miss Britt. Hey, one day, Britt, you got to be on Share This Life Plan with us. Ayo, thanks so much for joining, man. Raz Rising in the building. Miss Charlene Burke. Hey, Miss Charlene, I know one day you're gonna jump on here. You're gonna spread. We're gonna be doing this thing together. I'm gonna be jumping on your show. We'll be doing it together. Come on now. Alfredo in the building. Thanks so much for joining. Omotasho, Mr. O. That's what I'm gonna call you, Mr. O. Thanks so much for joining. And Pat's in the building. So here's the deal, guys. We talked about, and the seats are open if you want to jump in. we're talking about how to grow a consistency. So we talked about the what, we talked about the how, and now we're going to talk about the why. We're going to talk about the why. Again, this is coming from the 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John Maxwell. And we're just going through the 15 laws on law number 5. Here's the question. Do you know why you want to keep improving? Do you know why you want to keep improving? Knowing what to improve and how to improve are critical to consistency and personal growth. But so is knowing why. The how and the what will take you only so far. It's the why that will keep you motivated long after the rush of energy and enthusiasm wears off. It's the why that's going to keep you when you don't feel like doing it anymore. It's going to be the why that keeps you when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It's the why. What is your why? Why do you want to keep improving? Why do you want to grow? Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to be wealthy? Why? How big is your why? Now, here's the deal. Got a couple questions that it's called the why test. And in case you're wondering, man, is my why big enough? Is it going to carry me through those valleys? I know I can get through the peaks, but it's going to carry me through those valleys. So here's the first question, and this is the why test by Mike Murdoch. He said, 1, do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Now, guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm not there anymore, but I used to be here. I used to always, it was important. I know I needed to get it done, but I would always procrastinate because I was the person that, hey, I can always get it done in the last minute. I'm procrastinating, and sometimes guess what? Last minute turned into no minute. so do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Now, if you're saying that yes, you do, then maybe your why isn't big enough. Maybe your why isn't big enough. Pat, what do you got to say about that first question? Do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks?
Oh, we'll get to that later. Anyhow, but what I take away from that is the reality is we already know a lot of this. We just don't practice it. Think back to when you were 2 years old. How many times did you use the word, but why? Why? I mean, that, never stops. It's time for you to channel your 2-year-old. It's in you.
Oh, my goodness. I'm right. Hey, it's time for you to, hold on. Channel your 2-year-old. Now, this concept of channeling your 2-year-old, right, it goes beyond just, I want everybody to write that in the comments below. Channel your 2-year-old. Channel your 2-year-old. Now, here's the reason why. Why? Yes. There you go, Alfredo. Because here's the deal, it's not just because of the why. What else is so fabulous about channeling your 2-year-old? A, curiosity. B, courageous. A, they will try everything. How often, it was this quote that came out, it says, you know what? There's this quote about a child. A child will fall 50 times before they learn how to walk. But they don't say, they don't stop and say, is it worth me walking? They just keep trying until they can walk. Channel your 2-year-old. Be courageous and be curious. That's the deal. Channel your 2-year-old. They have childlike faith and they believe they can do whatever. The question is, do you? Your 2-year-old self will tell you right now, yes, Britt, however old you are, Mama Britt, yes, you can do it. Daddy Beatles, yes, you can do it. Mama Bert, yes, you can do it. Mama Raquel, yes, you can do it. Daddy Fredo, yes, you can do it. That's what your 2-year-old self is telling you right now. Papa Pat, yes, you can do it. That's what your 2-year-old is telling yourself right now. So channel your 2-year-old. They are bold, no fear. Yes, what are some other characteristics about your 2-year-old self? I know you probably don't remember when you were 2, but hey, maybe you can tap into that self, that younger self right now. What enthusiastic, yes. So ask yourself this. If we're talking about a 2-year-old having no fear, we're talking about a 2-year-old being bold. We're talking about your 2-year-old, you, 2 years old today, energetic and enthusiastic. What happened to it? Where did it go? Did we allow life to just sap out these qualities that we know are within us? If we have fear, we were taught fear because we weren't born with fear. We were born with faith of a mustard seed. Think about that. We were taught to fear. We were born with faith, but we were taught fear. That's pretty heavy right there, Pat. I don't know. That's pretty heavy. Your thoughts, Pat?
Well, and I'm going to take it from the other side. As a parent, if you have a small child, how long are you going to give him until they learn to walk?
Until they walk.
Are you going to wait until they're only 18 months and say, well, they can't get it, never mind? Are you going to wait till they're 2 years, and if they don't get it, they don't get it? No, it's until. It doesn't matter how long. It's until they get it done. And when we look at our children, we don't give up on them. It's until. Why do we give up on ourselves? It's until you get it done.
Hey, that's the next phrase. Everybody in the comments below, right? Until I get it done. Until I get it done. Mr. Beatles, you really need that, because I know you're on a big project right now, and I need you, Mr. Beatles, to say, until I get it done. And we behind you, brother. Until I get it done. Absolutely. All right, guys. So here's the second question as it relates to, is our why big enough? Do we have to question our why sometimes? Do you require coaxing to do small chores? Do you require coaxing to do small chores? Now, if it requires you to be coaxed, it could mean that maybe your why just isn't big enough, or maybe you're not reflecting on your why long enough. What is your why? Why do you need to continue to improve? Why do you need to become this person to attract the things into your life that you want to attract? Why? Then the third question is, do you perform duties just to get by? Oh man, this is a big one. I remember being at that job and I was just doing stuff just to get by. And you may be at that place right now. Maybe that why wasn't big enough. It's not big enough, or you're not reflecting on it. Do you perform duties just to get by? Now, we know what happens if we perform a duty just to get by. We're going to be just over broke. Are we cool with that? I don't know. I wasn't. And the question is, are you? I don't know where you are, what space you're in, but if you're performing duties just to get by, then you can expect to be just over broke. Pat, what do you think about those last two questions?
Well, the other way I kind of look at that is, if you're going to work every day, well, let me rephrase that. If you have stopped looking for work because you found a job, you're not motivated to work anymore, you're in the wrong place. And there's sadly too many people in this country, the minute they find a job, they stop looking for work. If you're not motivated to look for the work, if that doesn't bring you joy, you're in the wrong place.
And I would say, Pat, we don't need you in the wrong place. We don't need your miserable attitude when you come up in this place, wherever that is. I mean, go find some place where you can be positive and you can actually bring some excellence into the building. And I say, hey, you don't have to be a product of the environment. You can actually be the environment that changes it. I know that we say that we can either be influenced by the weather, or we can become the weather. And my goal was, to every place that I go, I wanted to become the weather. I know it's a whole bunch of negativity in this world, but guess what? We started this show. Why? Because we're going to counteract all the negativity that's in the world. And hey, hate, what did it say in the hurricane? Hate may have got me in here, but love's going to bust me out. Hate might put me in here, but love is going to bust me out. Well, that's what motivation is. It's a place of coming from love and abundance. All right, question number 4. This is your why test. This is your why test. Why do you want to improve? Question number 4. Do you constantly talk negatively about your work? And I think Pat just spoke on that. Do you constantly talk negatively about your work? Think about that. I don't know. I know I've been there. I'm not there right now, but I know I've been there. So there may be some people here that are getting something from this, that maybe they're in that place right now. 5th question. Do the efforts of friends to encourage you irritate you instead? Now, this is a big one. You got people that's in your life that's trying to encourage you, that's trying to get you off your pity party or your pity potty. And instead of you taking it as encouragement, they're irritating you. Like, man, stop calling me, because all you're doing is talking about doing better. Like, what kind of sense is that? You got a person that loves you in your life trying to encourage you. Oh, you got to tell me about this red ring syndrome. I never heard of that. What, Pat, you know what that is? No,
but that's why Charlene needs to come back tomorrow.
I don't know what that is, Charlene. You got to. Oh, okay. Sitting on the pot too long gets a red ring on your butt. So here's the deal, guys. I'm sure You've been in a place, or maybe in a place right now, or maybe you're here right now and you're like, man, yes, they speaking good, but it's irritating because they talking about doing better. Well, guess what? We're going to keep talking about doing better because we are all in this caravan towards success. That's what it is. The efforts of your friends to encourage you irritate you instead? Do you stop taking their phone calls? Do you just text them now instead of talking to them because it's just easier not to hear their upbeat, positive self? I knew there was people that I irritated because I was so positive, and they weren't used to it. They're like, everyone talks negative except you. I just can't take this newness of somebody being positive. Like, that's not normal. I can't have non-normal people in my life. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is I started to accept the abnormal people. And when I started to do that, I started to see my life go to another level of success, because the successful people are abnormal. The successful people are weird. The successful people are unusual. The successful people are extraordinary. You got to ask yourself, are you willing to be weird? Are you willing to be unusual? Are you willing to be extraordinary? Pat.
Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Because the more comfortable you are being uncomfortable is when growth happens. There he goes typing again.
I responded at 6 o'clock. She said that she had people say I was phony because I was so positive. And that's why it's important to be around a group like this. Be around people that can accept your positivity. Wealthy, healthy, happy show. Right? We're embracing your positive energy, man, because we know we get enough of this positive energy going in, it's going to explode into the world. So that was the fifth question. I think that's important. I think some people that may have been there, like they start hanging out with the people that's positive. They start hanging out with the people that can actually be good for their life, and they go find the miserable people. This is the crowd I want to hang out with. This crowd here, they not doing that. Let's hang out with them because they're gonna accept my failures and they're not gonna push me to be better. Man, oh man, I don't know why I'm sticking here. I know that I'm talking to somebody right now. Listen. Stay plugged in, man. Stay plugged in to people that are going somewhere. We're going to dare you to grow. We're going to challenge you to grow. And here's the question. Do you accept the challenge? Do you accept the challenge?
Stop being comfortable in your misery.
All right, sixth question. The sixth question on your why test. Why do you want to improve? Why do you want to improve? Do you start small projects and abandon them? Do you start small projects and abandon them? If you don't stick in there, maybe your why isn't big enough. Maybe you just started it because it was a good idea to someone else. Maybe you started it because you were presented with something. A lot of people do this with MLMs. They get presented something. Oh yeah, this is great. Let me start it. And then 2 weeks later, they're done. Like what is your why? And it's your why that should fuel you to the actions that you take. Now, of course, you come across great opportunities, but we know that luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So you got to ask yourself, am I prepared for this opportunity? And is this opportunity for me? Let me repeat that again, because we talk about good luck. 1, am I prepared for this opportunity? And then 2, is this opportunity for me? Sometimes the opportunity just isn't for you. Have you ever passed up on a good opportunity because the opportunity just wasn't for you? See, I know my lane. Do you know yours? I know the lane I'm supposed to be in. Do you know yours? So yes, there's going to be opportunities that come across my path. People hit me up all the time. Hey, you're such a sharp guy. Join my organization. Guess what? I have no problem saying no because I know what lane I'm supposed to be in. I know what I've been called to do. I know my purpose. What about you? What about you? Pat, he knows his purpose. He's doing the AC thing and he's doing the SEO thing. He knows what he's been called to do. And no is a powerful word, but so many of us have a hard time. How many of you guys have a hard time saying no? Out of the graciousness of your heart, you have a hard time saying no. You try to find a way to say yes, even though you know you should say no, even though you know it's not for you to do, even though you know you don't have time to do it. But because you want to help so much, you overextend yourself because you have a hard time saying no. Know your role. Pat.
Well, I live there. I see Mo's wrong. But it is amazing to me. Sometimes people, they're trying to be polite and they say things like, oh, yeah, we'll do that later. What? But It's like how many people agree to appointments and don't show. It's like, well, just be honest. I mean, no is a perfectly acceptable answer, and sometimes you need to push people into a decision. And one of the things they teach in sales training, people who do big ticket sales stuff, is go for the no. Push them until they make a decision, because the worst thing in life is what we call mutual mystification. You don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what they're going to do. And I mean, it's just the cloud. And clarity is not the cloud. If you want to be clear in your life, then start by being clear with others.
Woo! Hey, that was that moment. You got to pause and you got to repeat that. Pat, repeat it, man.
What did I say? But if you want to be clear in your life, start by being clear with others.
Woo! Oh, man, I can't even – somebody type that. I can't even type fast enough. I'm trying to talk and type at the same time. I can't do it. All right. And you want to be clear in your life. You want to have clarity in your life, right? You want to have still and calm waters in your life. You got to start being clear with others. And here's the thing, guys. We expect more from others than we expect from ourselves. We expect more from others than we will do ourselves. Oh, I expect you to be clear with me, but I don't have to be clear. As a matter of fact, I don't even recognize when I'm not being clear, because unclarity is a part of my life, but I want you to be clear with me. You want clarity in your life, start being clear with other people. Start utilizing the most powerful word in the dictionary. N-O, no. Sometimes you just got to say it. Don't put it off, because here's the deal. I hate the words interested in maybe, because maybe always turns into no. Like, just say no. Don't try to make me feel good that you might one day, soon, someday do it. You're not going to do it, because if you were going to do it and it was serious, you would have said yes. So I automatically put maybe people into the no category. I automatically put someday people into the no category. I automatically put later people into the no category, and I move on. If you were going to say yes, you would say yes. So go ahead and give them the respect that they deserve and say no. If you want to have clarity in your life, be clear with others. And then our last question is, this is your why test, is your why big enough? Do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? Do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? Now, we know there's a lot of people in the world that absolutely do. Not a problem. Thanks so much, Charlene, that absolutely avoid self-improvement opportunities. They have the opportunities right there in front of them. They can connect with people. They can be here today if they wanted to, but they just choose not to. And if you avoid these opportunities, then how do you ever expect to improve? This doesn't make any sense. Do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? Because if you do, then maybe your why just isn't big enough. Pat.
Well, and this reminds me of I took a class years ago in time management, and they asked, was it important that you read more? And I said, well, sure it is. Everyone said, sure. Okay, then why don't you read more? And it came down to books don't ring. We're so involved in doing the urgencies that we forget to do the important things.
Woo! We
don't have time for the important things because books don't ring.
Woo!
We need to put ringers on these things.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Hey, so here's the deal, guys, man. Books don't ring. But then what are some other things that you need, that that you should do, that aren't ringing in your life, and maybe you need to give them a bell? What are some other things in your life that aren't ringing that that you should do? Maybe you need to give them a bell. See, when you start getting wrapped up into your why, you start cutting the phone off. When you're wrapped up into your why, you turn the TV off. When you're wrapped up into your why, you're saying, hey, I don't need any distractions because I know what distracts me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those distractions out for this hour or 2 hours, or whatever it is. When you got to study for that insurance test, you cut the phone off. You let everything go so you can work on what you need to do in order for you to pass that test. There's some things in your life right now that are distracting you from your success. And I want you to recognize those things. And I want you to take a moment each and every day to turn them off. Turn off the distractions and watch and see where this place of solitude, this place of focus can be in your life. Pause for a minute, reflect. That's the thing I want you to do today. As you're talking about growing, as you're talking about getting to a place of consistency, the reason why you may be consistently inconsistent is because you make everything a priority. Let me repeat that again. That's important for you to understand. You make everything a priority. Everything except your goals. Let me repeat that one more time. The reason why, if you find yourself consistently inconsistent, is because you make everything a priority except your very own goals. Well, hey, guys, we're here Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. each and every day. 30 minutes to change your life, to start your day, or to end your day, no matter where you are in the world. This is the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. Pat, you got any last words for the peeps?
I'll be here tomorrow.
Will you? Hey, so we'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Continuing on with the law of consistency. Hey, go out, be great today, and be great on purpose. Go out today and make sure that you release the distractions in your life so you can get focused on your very own goals. Laser focus is his hashtag for today. Hey, we're out today. We are wealthy. We are healthy. We are happy. And we are out. Hump day. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.